Fear. It's what separates the men from the proverbial boys. It appears we have a lot of boys in this country and world and not too many men. The Trilateral Commission and Council of Foreign Affairs and whatever they were called prior to 1921 when the Council of Foreign Affairs was officially put into place. Seems to have total control over your nervous system and your fight or flight responses. Edward Bernays wrote a book called Propaganda, and everyone who knows anything about hypnosis works for them because they have total control over everything you do. They own Hollywood, they own the media. People in Trilateral Commissions include Brzezinski. Obama is his puppet. Obama knows nothing, but still is his puppet. Jimmy Carter worked for him. Let me start from the beginning. David Rockefeller founded Council of Foreign Affairs in 1921. David Rockefeller and Brzezinski founded Trilateral Commissions in 1973 together. At that time it had a few members. And it grew from there. I can get into dry statistics, but you either listen to other videos I have, or you can. I will link them to this one. I won't get into dry statistics of people you know that are involved in this group. I will give you a few names, such as Jimmy Carter, who was with the group before he was president, after he was president, all of his staff, Michael Mullen, Bryce, Mark Zuckerberg, a lot of media, people throughout the world, the United Nations, you name them, they're probably involved. Just like in the movie, and yes, I'll do Hollywood since they do, just like in the movie Captain America, the Winter Soldier, when history gets in the way, history is changed, accidents happen. Kennedy was assassinated. Before the supposed start of the Council of Foreign Affairs, William McKinley was assassinated to get us on the Federal Reserve perpetual debt system. Reagan didn't want the Trilateral Commissions. He was shot at to put fear in him. Then he invited him into the White House. I'm not going to get into dry stuff here. What I will get into is some interesting things. Just a few. I will keep this video relatively short because I know some of you don't have detailed attention spans. I will go over again. Brzezinski and Rockefeller started Trilateral Commissions in 1972 or 73. As you know, from what I told you before, as I said, I'll link those videos together. I told you once before, Abe Lincoln, his family tree goes deep. His family tree, and you can look this up if you want to waste your money and your time, feel free. Looked up through Ancestry.com. He is linked with the royal family, including Prince Charles and all those other staunch nitwits, Barack Obama, Dick Cheney, John Kerry, Brad Pitt, Hugh Hefner, Madonna, Celine Dion, Pocahontas, Tom Hanks. I'm leaving some out, yes, of course, for brevity, which people say I'm not good with, including the original Vlad the Impaler, who people credit with being Hollywood turned into a blood-sucking monster, which was no more a blood-sucking monster than anything. Most people know this. He was a killer, yes. But if you know your history behind that, he done so because he was made to be that way. People don't realize that. I'm not defending him by any means. He was made to be that way. He defended himself and was made mad. Most all presidents are related by blood. The one who isn't, who was found out by someone else, who wasn't, is of Dutch origin. His name is Martin Van Buren. Now, does this all tie back to Abe Lincoln or not? Who knows? There was a show called Sliders. I don't know if any of you have ever watched it. It started in '95, lasted 5 years. A very good science fiction show. I recommend it. At least the first 2 seasons. There was an episode called Obsessed where it had to do with psychics. And the backstory was he was saved by a psychic from being shot by John Wilkes Booth in Ford Theater, and he set up a division of psychics. Therefore, everybody on that planet was some kind of oracle, healers, cops, you name it. Anyway, that was the backstory. And that led you to believe this going on now. The Council of Foreign Affairs was their version of psychics, which led to Trilateral Commissions and whatever's next. Whatever else I'm not telling you that I may know and others may know. They are a cult. They are evil. We have a constitution, which is what I'm going to get into here in a minute. I have a few minutes left, but first, before I'm going to get into that, let me get into this. A quote from Michael Elner. Just look at us. Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. Doctors destroy health. Lawyers destroy justice. Universities destroy knowledge. Governments destroy freedom. The major media destroys information, and religions destroy spirituality. And why? Because they want it that way. We owe it to our children, our future, to round up the Council of Foreign Affairs and the Trilateral Commission, thus the United Nations, defund them, defund Israel, and throw them in prison. They started on U.S. soil. They are a cult. We have the constitutional rights. They violated the Constitution. How many presidents before Jimmy Carter's staff were they in on? They violated openly our Constitution. They belong in prison for treason, terrorism, child trafficking, pedophilia, and numerous other crimes, unspeakable crimes that need spoken. They need put in prison, and they need the maximum penalty. I will go over a list of amendments that they have broken. Let's see. The First Amendment, freedom of speech, religion, press, okay. Religion. They tore down the 10 Commandments plaque in Oklahoma City. Yes, it was put back up, but they broke that. Freedom of speech. White people can't say the N-word, but black people make billions off it. They broke that. Freedom of press, they blaster fake news all over the place. Okay? They broke the First Amendment. Second Amendment, they're trying to do with David Hogg right now, who doesn't go to school. He seems to have a Hollywood agent. Third Amendment, that one seems to be okay for now. Illegal search and seizure, number 4. Oh yeah, they blow that one all to hell. Fifth Amendment, yeah. If you plead the Fifth Amendment court, you're guilty. Speedy trial, number 6. Yeah, they got courts so backlogged it's sickening. Trial by jury, yeah. People in courts, judges, are on the Trilateral Commission. They've blown that one. Excessive bail, number 8. Yeah, they blew that one. Number 9. Blew that one. Number 10. You get the idea. And then we get to number 13. Abolish slavery and involuntary servitude. Well, this one's a bit tricky, number 13, because Abe Lincoln was killed shortly after he freed the slaves, but he also was rumored to want to deport them after he freed them, and then he was killed. By who? It's rumored to be somebody on the take. And he also wanted to not fund the Civil War, so there's 2 things. Plus, involuntary servitude, we also have child trafficking going on. So there's another crime and another one they broke. Seems to me that Council of Foreign Affairs and Trilateral Commission is guilty of one heck of a lot of crimes against the Constitution and pretty much every darn amendment we have. I say, plus Israel needs to pay back every dime we have ever given them. Because their Jewish people murdered or assassinated, if you prefer that nice term. How many presidents? Quite a few. The United Nations extorts how much money and does nothing for us? Nimrata Haley, who you know is Nikki, is personally for Trump than against him. Personally, I don't care how you feel about Trump. I think he's a turncoat. And he may not be part of the Trilateral Commission, of which you may argue that, but you know from watching or listening to my other audios that no current person holding presidential office can be. So he might have been before he was president. He might be after he's president, but he cannot be. His little darling daughter probably is, and every other member of his staff is, maybe even his wife. I doubt it, because I doubt she's most likely smart enough, but she's just eye candy. So, thank you for listening. I just have 2 pieces of advice for you, and they're both gonna slap you in the face. One from Heath Ledger as the Joker. Why aren't you doing anything? What's wrong? Did your balls drop off? It's time you quit pretending you knew what was going on. Quit being a bandwagon jumper. And the second from Leonard Nimoy as Spock. The goods of the the good of the many outweigh the good of the few. We don't need to worry about the UN or Israel or the Trilateral Commission. We need to worry about our children. Do something. Enforce our Constitution. Wake up, America. And put them in jail.